Hi everybody, it's Kevin at Kev's Hobbies. Uh, Sitting in my boat again, but dry docked right now. Not what you think, not a bad thing. Just picked it up from the marina just a little while ago. I had them do a little bit of work to it. Nothing bad, just I wanted to add sort of an extra accessory to my boat, and it took more than I could handle to do it. But I wanted to show you what I did. Um, if you remember in my previous videos, I talked about with this Grizzly Tracker 1654 model, I had a 1700 beaver tail on it, and my beaver tail blind came about here on the boat, and when I tilted up the motor interfered with the beaver tail blind, the bracket mostly. The handle actually right underneath here would interfere with it, and so especially in shallow water, when I pull up to the shoreline and I park the boat, my motor would have to tilt up because it's shallow, so I would have to tilt my motor up, and then this part right here would hit that bracket, and it caused me some issues, and I didn't like that at all. Second issue was, my this tiller handle is so long, and one thing that I just really don't like about it is how long the handle is. So I wanted to do something about that as well, so that it's not all the way up here. So I solved it, and I want to show you what I did. So let's go in the back of the boat here and we'll show you what I did. So what I did was I had them install this Atlas Micro jack plate from TH Marine. And I had bought this about, in August, I guess. I think somewhere around there of 2022. And I just got around now to getting it installed. The unit cost me, I bought it on Amazon, I think. It was around $800, 800 and some and change. So that was a pretty good expense. And then I had to, pay to have it installed. So I had it installed today. So I just wanted to kind of show you, what it looks like back here. As you can see, like I said, this plate right here was obviously up against here. So that moved this forward probably about out to here. And that's why it interfered with my blind bracket. So when I tilt the motor up, this would hit that bracket. And so I couldn't tilt the motor up like I wanted to. So this moves it back about 4 inches and gives me more room for the tiller, number one. Number two, now if I'm in the shallow water, pulled up on shore, instead of having to trim this up in the shallow water, I can just pick up the entire jack plate, 4 or 5 inches or whatever it is, straight up, vertically. So it doesn't need to tilt up. So that's a really good feature. So let me just show you real quick. Sunday I think I'll take this out on the river and I'll show you guys, kind of what it is. The dealer took it out for a spin after he installed it. He got about 32 miles an hour, and that's essentially what I got before I put this on. So I didn't lose anything. I didn't really gain anything. He said there is a little bit more torque on the motor, and that is what it is at this point. But if you look over here, I had bought this also. I had bought a custom switch. It's handrail, and I bought it from WSJ. I think that's the name of the company. It's a switch for the jack plate. And it could be a switch for anything, but they make these for War Eagles or Gator Tracks. They also make them for Grizzly Trackers, and these are custom built brackets that fit in your rail right here. Well, I ordered mine specifically, and these are custom, and I ordered mine specifically for Grizzly Tracker, and because we have a vertical uh, track, they usually build these at an angle so you can grab it up here. Well, what I got was not what I ordered. And I was a little upset, and I called him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're really busy, and what do you want us to do?" And I'm like, hey man, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not installing this thing for another 6 months, so, I don't know what you can do. Number two, this cable right here for the wiring for the switch is supposed to come out the track right here. Instead, it comes out this tunnel right here, but it's too big. It doesn't fit in the track. So I had to feed it out the back, and then it goes out there. So extremely disappointed in that. This little switch right here, I think, cost me about $125. So that was from WSJ, I believe. That's the name of the company. It's about 125 bucks. You don't quote me on that, but that was just a disappointment. It works, the switch works, and that's fine, but that's not exactly what I had in mind. I wanted this to be vertical so you can grab it on the rail here, not out here. So it is what it is. And then if this is too small of a track to feed the wire through, then the wire there should have been a hole drilled right here, and the wire should have come out right out of that hole, out of the pipe right there instead, but it didn't. So again, a little upset about that, but I'll show you how it operates. I'm just gonna push on the little switch here, and then you can kind of see what's going on. But so that's going down, all right, and then you'll see how the motor can tilt up. Goes up quite a bit, and then you can see how my motor is. My prop is just, the center of my prop is about even with the bottom of the hull. He said he tested it, and I still have water intake here, because what you're doing, you're getting further away from the hull, so there's less disruptive water. So you're still getting good flow of water in here, which is going to cool your system. You always want to make sure that you're getting plenty of water through those impellers. Anyways, through that intake plate. So, super happy with it overall. Looks pretty good, operates well. This is what I wanted. The tiller is not too high, as you can kind of see. We'll go back in the boat and we'll take a look. Now it does look a little high, but when you're sitting in the chair, let me turn this around. When you're sitting in the chair, that's an easy lift right there. And let me adjust this right here. So, you're driving at the tiller, and then you can reach back with the other hand and operate your jack plate and lower it or raise it, or however you want. You want to get skinny in the water and get really skinny and get in really thin water, maybe 6 inches of water. You can do that with this. So extremely excited about that. I'm looking forward to taking it out on the water. Maybe Sunday. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'd like to take it out tomorrow, but unfortunately it's going to rain, so we'll have to wait till Sunday. So if you got any questions or comments on it, write them below, and I'll try to answer as best I can. Obviously, I haven't tested this out yet, but this is what I expected for it. Now, like I said, the jack plate itself cost a little over $800 and change. I thought they charged me a little too much to install it. He charged me 4 hours worth of labor, so that was $125 an hour. So that's $500 right there. And then there was 4 bolts in the back there. He said it didn't come with bolts, so he had to provide the bolts. So he had to go get them special, and they were $50 for the 4 bolts, which, you know, whatever. He had to charge me the 4 hours of labor, but, you know, I think he charged me a little bit of labor to go get them too. So I think I got double charged on labor there. Whatever. I mean, the bolts shouldn't be any more than a couple bucks a piece, honestly. 10 bucks, not 50. But it is what it is. I just kind of, you know, called them up, asked if they could do it, and they said yes. So they got it done. I didn't get a quote. I probably should have gotten a quote. But this time of the year, you know, marinas, you know, you're just lucky to get somebody to get you in and get it taken care of. But I think this will work for me. My boat blind, just for fishing, you know, like I said, getting skinny. You know, I can run this all the way up all the time and still not have a problem with it. I'll have to just see. He did say that with the tilt and trim, with it all the way up, it porpoises a lot faster. So, you know, you almost have to have this almost all the way down now, so it doesn't start porpoising on you. And but I just want to kind of set it and forget it. Let me show you another couple features here under the motor. The truth of the matter is my battery is actually right underneath here, right underneath my seat here, and that's where all the components for this were supposed to be installed. However, he didn't want to drill a hole in there. He didn't want to drill a hole in here, so he mounted everything actually in the motor. And let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so like I said, we have the switch right here. He's got he sheathed the wire and so protected it. Did a really neat job actually overall. So he's got it coming up and feeding into the motor right here. It goes up, snakes around, and then, you know, he's got it kind of looped in there a little bit, and it comes up to these wires right here, and it's just got a little plug-in right there. So you can disconnect it all right here if you need to change things out. These are 2 relays that come with it. He mounted those right directly onto the motor themselves. I think he just drilled a little hole and put these brackets in, and then just mounted it here so it all fits in. He's got a nice, neat wiring job going in with positive and negative going up. And then we come around to the front. There is a glass tube fuse. I don't know what amp it is, but there's a fuse here. So if I wanted to disconnect it, you know, like if I'm renting it out and I don't want the people to mess with my settings, I could just take the fuse out and then they can't mess with it. So there's a fuse right here, and then there's also a breaker. Now the breaker has a reset button on the side right here. It's a little button. So if the breaker pops, you know, you can just reset it. You can't just, you know, trip the breaker without shorting the system, the unit out. The unit is powered here and here, negative and positive leads. So everything is located directly onto the motor itself. You know, and then, you know, if you're taking it off, you know, you just disconnect everything all right there. And, you know, if you got to service the motor, take the motor off, or whatever they've got to do, they can just disconnect it right there. So all in all, very, very happy. Very, very clean job overall. And the proof's going to be in the pudding when I crank it up and give it a test on Sunday. So stay tuned for that episode, and I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. Until then, next time, if you got any comments, questions, whatever, let me know below, and I'll try to respond the best I can. Until next time, take care. This is Kevin at Kevin's Hobbies.